Alright, let's talk tomatoes, because I feel like a lot of the times people don't know really which method of tomatoes they want to grow. And if you have only ever grown them the typical American way, then you may not know another way to do it. But there are multiple ways you can grow tomatoes, so let's go over it now. Alright, this is a white Belgium tomato. And we've planted literally no space between these tomatoes, guys. So this is the non-American method for growing these tomatoes. I'm not going to say the country because I don't want to get any of the information wrong. And I have actually adjusted this method just a little bit to be better for our conditions. So we're in Kansas, which is zone 6. Let's go over tomato anatomy here. See how the main stalk has hairs on it? These hairs give this part of the plant the ability to grow roots, fruits, and sun-soaking leaves. Now, the way that a tomato plant grows, the first limbs that you see, the first limbs like this, actually turn into sun-soaking leaves. They have this general shape to them, no matter what the breed of tomato is. They're very easy to identify because they always look pretty much the same, just different sizes of the same thing. All right, sun-soaking leaves have one job and one job only. Just like with squash, the sun-soaking leaves, their job is to create this growth point right in the center of the stem. In the American method of growing tomatoes, this is called a clone or a sucker. I don't call these suckers, guys. This is a fruiting limb. It's going to grow out with hairs on it just like this main stem, so it's capable of producing fruit. If you're trimming your sun-soaking leaves off after they're done doing their job, these will actually put out flowers and fruits, which look like this. So it's super important that you go ahead and trim off the sun-soaking leaf so that the main stem can grow and have space and air. Also, the less leaves you have, the less chance you're going to have an invasion of things like horn beetles and other bugs, because they live in the leaves. They use it for their home, for their food. They really need those leaves for cover, but tomatoes do not need leaves, guys. A completely naked tomato plant will still absorb the sun through the stem of the plant. It does not need leaves, and the entire stem is covered in hairs, which can be converted into roots fairly easily by the plant. So it does not actually need leaves. It's nice to leave leaves at the top so that the plant can go ahead and get easy food from those leaves, but all the rest of the way down the plant you can remove those sun-soaking leaves. So very easily you can just clean your plant up and give it nice airy condition so it can get sun to the fruits and ripen it. See, there's a growth there already at the crux. So there's no reason for that leaf to be there anymore. It's just taking up space. It's getting tangled with the neighbors. And cut all these sun-soaking leaves off. And give some of these fruiting limbs some space to like breathe and grow. And they just can't do that when they're all overcumbered by these giant sun-soaking leaves that do nothing else. Their only job is to create that little crux growth. Alright, so see how much cleaner that looks? I'll do the same to the other side, and then the air will be able to pass through. We grow our tomatoes on cattle panels because you can plant them this way. You just plant your bases of your plant every 4 inches. And anytime you accidentally trim off one of those hairy limbs, which is not a sun-soaking leaf, if you accidentally cut one of those off, no big deal. Just poke it into the soil between the 2 plants and it'll cross with the other plants as it's rooting in. So easy way to grow tomatoes, get very large tomatoes because they don't have to hold themselves up. They're growing on a cattle panel that's just been turned on its side. The base is filled with sphagnum moss, so it's pretty easy to pull the weeds, although I typically just weed eat it. Since I know where the plants are up against the cattle panel, I can just take the weed eater right through here without worrying about it and not hit my plants at all, as long as they're all trimmed up and all tucked in like they're supposed to be. So I don't have to worry about a lot of bug damage on my tomatoes other than that big guy there because he's real close to the ground and the leaves were all over here covering him. So as long as you keep your leaves trimmed up, you won't have to fight all the bugs all the time. Okay guys, so hopefully there's a good lesson for you and you learned something new about tomatoes. This is my favorite way of growing tomatoes because I can just grow them as high as I can put the cattle panels. We're actually gonna get bigger T-posts and we're gonna add another layer to the cattle panels. Since I'm down here in the field, I'll just point it out real quick. Behind me is the plum orchard. We've also got our hazelnuts and our chestnuts all the way across, and then over here are our evergreens that we make our Mangolio with. And then the onions and garlic are all right here. Tomatoes start here, but we also have them in random places around the homestead, and the same thing with the onions and garlic. Okay, hope you have a great day and make sure you water those plants.